Right. Look, I don't know why these teams kept getting named when everyone in New Zealand is pretty much asleep, unless you're doing night shifts in New Zealand. But hey, it's beyond my control. But anyway, it's just really annoying that we have to kind of talk about it. So look, the All Blacks and in fact the French teams have been named for the big test this Saturday night at 9:10 p.m. in France, local time at the Stade de France. Certainly a venue that has seen the All Blacks many, many times, so particularly this sort of just over a year this time last year. So yeah, let's quickly go through it. No, don't mind the background noise, sorry, because the kids are home. So let's go through the teams. Look, Ethan the Groot again misses out. Now, there are some reasons which I won't go into here, as I haven't had the chance to research them. There are lots of rumors flying around, including Ethan the Groot being suspended because he helped an old lady across the road, which I think is total BS. So Tamaiti Williams, who I think deserves to retain his spot on the All Blacks. He was really good against Ireland, so he retains his number one spot. And you kind of feel perhaps maybe Tamaiti is the incumbent loose head prop, and Ethan the Groot has to work for his spot again. So that's just the circle of life with the All Blacks. Cody Taylor's back in the All Blacks, so he takes over from Asafo Omua as the starting hooker, and he will line up in the scrum alongside with Tyrell Lomax, who continues to be the bedrock in that All Black scrum. Scott Barrett at captain, Scott Barrett at 4, Tupou at 5, so no changes there. Now, back row is going to be a bit different because Sam Cane has been ruled out of this French game. Fingers crossed he hasn't played his last test for the All Blacks, although it's a pity he can't play against a big team, so no disrespect to Italy. So you've got Sami Penifina is brought in to play at blindside. Ardi Sevilla moves to open side, number 7, and Wallace Atiti at 8. So it's certainly a bit of a shake-up there, but I don't think they will lose much in terms of the tackling. Ardi Sevilla is, such a, Ardi Sevilla could play first 5 if Scott Robertson asked him to. That man is just really multi-talented, and I think he'll do a fantastic job where Sam Cane left off. And don't forget, of course, he had to effectively play that position when Sam Cane got sent off in the World Cup final last year at the same ground. So that's the back row, that's the forwards. A big, which I've only just really noticed and realized, Cam Roigard is starting at number 9 with alongside Bolden Barrett. Let's talk about these two. So, of course, Roigard, looks, of course, come off the bench. Of course, he's only just come back from that major injury. He had that ruled him out of Super Rugby this season, and has done really well so far when he's come off the bench. So, it's probably no. I guess I think you'd say Ratima didn't have his best game last week. Roigard does offer a lot of pace. From the breakdowns and and his ability to start. So it'll be just interesting to of course the French have a certain best player in the world at halfback. So it will be an interesting battle there between Antoine Dupont and Cam Roigard. Should we be really? Yeah, Roigard. I'm not doing that. So Roigard versus Dupont should be very interesting. They're both very athletic halfbacks there. Roigard obviously is a bit more, does have the slight disadvantage in experience, but look, if he does shine, this could be the making of his All Blacks career. Bolden Barrett, as I predicted, goes to 10. Look, I think watches Damien McKenzie did a really, really superb job against Ireland. You got to pick horses or courses. I think obviously the French are going to be a bit more physical and they're going to cause a bit more trouble. I think Barrett will have a bit more. I think Barrett's just a bit better at sort of controlling the game. But look, that is not that's not a discredit to Damien McKenzie, and who I think in the aspect of this game, Damien McKenzie still has a huge role to play off the bench, and you could very well see a double pivot system, like as we've seen many times in the past, where you have Barrett and McKenzie operating in tandem. So watch this space. That's just part of the game plan. So you got Caleb Clark retains 11, Joey Barrett at 12, Rico Ioane at 13, Sevu Reese, comes in at 14 at the one of the wings, and Will Jordan at fullback. So yeah, pretty much a really good All Blacks team. One designed to take on the French. Let's go to the bench. So Asafo Moore goes onto the bench as you'd expect because Cody Taylor retains the starting spot. Offered Tungafasi, Pasiliatosi as it were, Patrick Tupulo as he were, with Sam, but the big name of course, Peter Lakai comes onto the bench. Now I'm not correct. I'd like to hear. I mean, look, I know I haven't seen too much of Peter Lakai, so I'm going to be admitting there just for a bit of transparency. Would be interested. So I'm not entirely sure what his capabilities like to play across the back row. I know what they have mentioned. Wallace Atiti as possibly being able to play 7. So certainly Peter Lakai there is 20. So we shall. So of course he did play against Japan. Has had a very strong Super Rugby and NPC campaign. So let's see. It'll be interesting to see how it goes against. Obviously France is going to be stepped up from Japan. As I mentioned, Cortes Ratamas on the bench. Anton Leonard-Brown. A solid replacement to bring into the midfield, and then of course Damien McKenzie. So I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on this this All Blacks team to take on France. Look, we've really been in England, Ireland, so some might argue, we've kind of hit our metrics there, and so certainly beating France in France would be absolutely amazing. So Look, I'll just quickly go through the French 50. I'm not going to talk too much because I just really want to show my the ability to speak French there. But it is looking like a fairly decent French team. You've got Ross at number 1, sounds German, Malbuka, Tatafu, Flamand, Meafu, Pruden, Aldrit, Chomat, and then Dupont, the captain, at 9, Ramos at 10. Biari at 11, Mofana, Gail Fiku at 13, Villiers 14, and Buos at 15. So a couple of names that we might not recognize. There's a couple of players, Marchand, Vardy, Colomb, Dorothy Fennoa, Gila, Oliver, Leo Garrett, Gallaton. I believe Antamax still recovering, so he's not available. So look, the French depth is pretty good at this time. I think certainly this, they're always going to be tough to beat at home. Having said that, I guess they are known to be one of the most mature teams in international rugby. So you could very well see a 40-10 win to the All Blacks, which has happened. I'm saying that because it has happened in the past. So look, so that is effective. I mean, as I said, look, there is still one more game to come against Italy, although everyone pretty much regards this as pretty much the final real big test for the All Blacks on this tour. Because no disrespect to Italy, I mean, if the All Blacks lost to Italy, that would be a massive, that would be an unprecedented event. So, it is unprecedented because Italy have never been in the All Blacks. So, look, what are your thoughts on this All Blacks lineup? What are your thoughts on the French? And if you know what the French do, feel free to provide the comments. And look, can the All Blacks make it 4 wins out of 4? Because of course you count the Japan game. And don't forget the All Blacks 15 won both their games against Munster and Georgia. So it's been a really stellar end of year, a very strong end of finish to the international campaign for New Zealand rugby. So what are your thoughts? And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. And look, I will, if I do remember, do check out my other videos. I've got one about Liam Lawson as well, which I mean, look, I was trying to follow back up from last year, so. And of course, look into the Super Rugby teams for next year. So of course, feel free to like and hit that subscribe button.